Surely the presence of love is in this place and in all places and in all people. Knowing and accepting this, we bless all people no matter their race, color, creed, or expression of love. Knowing that there are many paths to God, many names for God, many faces of God, but only one God. And this God is expressing through all creation in many, many ways. We come together today to experience and express the Christ Spirit that dwells within each of us. Let us now prepare for our opening meditation and prayer with Michael Wright.
Good morning, friends, and welcome. This is the day the Lord has made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us celebrate the fact that we are divinely connected with Mother, Father, Creator God. And as that, we are co-creators with Mother, Father, Creator God. And what today will be for us is what we're willing to do. Just know, as we move into this time of meditation, that we are enfolding in that comforting love. During this period of time that we're sharing together, whether here in the building or remotely, we share with our fellow Earth citizens. And we know that there are periods of time that we feel lost, unsure, even disheartened or upset. So I would invite you to step into this space and to feel that comfort of the connection that we have with Spirit. So I would invite you, if it's comfortable for you, to close your eyes and breathe in that breath of God deeply. As the rhythm of your breathing relaxes your body, feel a peace and calmness descending on your shoulders from that soft touch that we know. And open up that crown chakra and feel the light of the love of Mother, Father, Creator God permeating your body. With your feet planted on the floor, feel the power of the nurturing of Mother Earth. Feel all these things coming together to lift you up and support you. It's in this space that we can discard those thoughts that don't reassure us, that don't comfort us. They have no place in this holy space. So any disturbing thought that comes becomes an instant prompt to remember that the power within me is there to change my thinking. So as you breathe and relax, feel that adjustment and know that it is always available to you. Any place, any time. It's in this space that we summon a higher viewpoint. And as we step into it, we feel that uplifting love of God that brings peace, understanding, and direction. what we are being gifted with during this period of time is the ability to be more thoughtful about our choices on how we spend our days and how we more knowingly and wholeheartedly connect with those that we love. Whether it's a phone call, sitting down and writing a card or a letter, or just sending healing thoughts that have that energy to touch that soul that says, I'm thinking of you. And as we bask in this love, we feel lighter. We can release all limitations. We can rest assured knowing that we are guided and helped along our path through life. And now that we are co-creators with God, we are free of the burden of doing it all by ourselves. So in this space, any sadness or upset is not just removed, it is transformed. We feel enfolded in the comforting love of God. And we are always loved, always valued, and always worthy. We know that nothing can ever harm us because we are always shielded by God's loving care. So let us remember this truth whenever we feel vulnerable and exposed. We know that there is only one power and one presence, and it's always within and around me. God the good, omnipotent. We know that God's protecting love lifts us and calms our thoughts. We can repeat soothing affirmations at those times when we feel anxious or afraid. This simple act keeps us focused on God and centered in the spiritual presence that is always with me and protecting me. So let us just take a moment and reflect that we are divinely protected by Mother, Father, Creator, God. Yes, sweet Spirit, we are grateful for the rhythm of the universe, the constancy of the heartbeat, and the breath we breathe. This sustains us, and all power lies there, and with our connection with you, sweet Spirit. And for this, we are grateful. Isaiah 66:13 tells us, as a mother comforts her child, So I will comfort you. Amen and namaste.
Thank you, Michael. All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. How's everybody else?
Good.
Even better. Okay, you're still good. That's great. All righty. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. We gather here today to laugh and learn and pray, to feel the light within us grow. And now it's time to start to open every heart to what we already know. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. Coming home to unity, heaven is here right now. 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 Yay.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be your worship assistant today. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Michael Wright, and it's a pleasure for me to serve in many capacities here at the church, this being one of them. So I would ask that you join me today in affirming our statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now, to time for the daily word. Today, this is Sunday, August 23rd, and the word or words for today is inner peace. The peace of God fills my mind, my heart, and my life. Quiet moments in a fragrant garden, a stroll by a lake or stream, or a visit to any place of beauty inspires a deep awareness of peace. I also enjoy peace in the company of friends, those with whom I have easy camaraderie and deep bonds. Growing in spiritual awareness, I claim inner peace wherever I am. True inner peace comes from deep within me. If I am feeling less than peaceful, I pause and breathe out worry, fear, and unhealthy concern. Giving my full attention to the divine presence within me, I breathe in a peace that soothes my emotions, calms my thoughts, and relaxes my body. As I continue to inhale peace and exhale concern, I move forward with renewed clarity and confidence. And the scripture today is Isaiah 26:3. Those of steadfast mind you keep in peace, in peace because they trust in you. And so it is. And let's see, I've got I release resistance and experience. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Just wanted to double check and make sure. This is our affirmation of faith for this month, which is acceptance. I release resistance and experience acceptance. And there's never a better time for this statement than right now. So let's share this together. Acceptance. I release resistance and experience acceptance. This is who we are. Let's know it again together with a strong affirmation. I release resistance and experience acceptance. Let us pray. As we gather in the divine presence today, we all affirm the truth of God's perfect life and love at work now for the highest good of all. In our unity with one another, we hold the high watch, seeing the truth of our being, that we are all children of God. And if you are so inclined, we offer a moment for you to speak aloud the names of anyone who is in need of prayer support. We know that God is a God of love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. We let go of any fears or anxieties, and we affirm that we are all safe, healthy, and protected. We bless all those who support us in maintaining vibrant, radiant health. We express divine love in all that we think, say, and do. We bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. And so it is. Okay, and so now's the time we like to say hello to each other and to greet anybody that's here for the first time. As I'm looking around, I see pretty familiar faces. We're glad to have Norm Heron back. He's not been here for a little while, but he chose to come today. He's back there in front of, welcome, Norm. We're glad you're here. So if you are with us for the first time online, please just type your name into the chat box and let us know that you're here. We value your participation, and we hope that you are blessed today. It's our privilege to have you here. Thank you.
Celebrate life, shining like stars in the brilliant night sky. Here for each other in joy and in pain. Grateful for this family, spiritual community. The love we share is sunshine after rain. All is well when we are together. Together, it feels like home.
Good morning, beloveds.
Good morning, beloved.
Today, I want to start off with gratitude. That's how we should start every day off, right? As many of you know, these past couple of weeks have been pretty challenging for Ed and me. With the death of our nephew, some tough business decisions, we've experienced a lot of sorrow, a lot of grief, a lot of what's next. There was a great outpouring of support from our friends and our families and our Unity family. Some came to the visitation for Logan, and some of you watched the funeral service on the live streaming. We received cards, Facebook messages, emails, food, flowers. The love was felt, for sure. I've often thought, who ministers the ministers when they're hurting? And I found out it's the community that they serve. And we are grateful. This month of August, we've been affirming acceptance. I release resistance and experience acceptance. Or as Ed said last week, I release resistance and accept the experience. I believe this helps me through a lot recently, through all the sorrow that I've been feeling. If we're here to experience what it is to be human, then we have to accept what the universe puts in front of us and experience it. It's hard. It's hard to do. We may want to resist what is there, but resisting doesn't rewind. It doesn't change what is. It only deepens the wound and slows down the healing. We've been looking at hope and healing this month. Funny that we picked this topic for the month and it becomes the month that I needed it the most. Louise started us off with living in the light of hope. And she gave us 5 keys for hope: purposeful action, vision, flexibility, trust, and spiritual community. With purposeful action, we've got to have purpose. You can't go through life just reacting to everything that is around you. When you just react, all you do is react and you move nowhere. You've got to have purpose to move forward. Vision. I talked about vision. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang. Yes, we can manifest a loving world. Ed talked about being flexible, staying in the moment. Yes, and this week I'm going to talk about spiritual community. So how can spiritual community help us heal? How can spiritual community give us hope? When we struggle, or if we're suffering, or we're hurting, it's hard to handle alone. I have a couple of scriptures. The first from the Talmud, the Jewish text. But 2 who are sitting together, and there are words of Torah spoken between them, the divine presence rests with them. But 2 who are sitting together, and there are words of Torah spoken between them, the divine presence rests with them. which is very similar to Matthew 18:20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. Reverend Ed Townley has an article on unity.org about that particular text. And he poses a question. Spirit lives within us. What is the significance of where 2 or 3 come together in my name? There I am with them. He's always with us, right? So his comment to that question, the Christ is always with us, yes. The Christ is our true spiritual identity. I'm not sure I would say that Jesus Christ is, quote, is always with us. I would say that Jesus Christ is always available to us. As we struggle to express our own Christ nature, Jesus Christ stands ready to support and assist us. He needs to be involved. He won't force himself upon us. He never presumes to know what we need any more than he would presume to know if a blind man needed a healing. The blind man had to ask, and so do we. The point here is that it is easier when we don't try to do it alone. This is why we in Unity gather in spiritual community, not just for the ways in which we can support each other, but because in coming together in the name of the Christ, the added energy of Jesus Christ is also present. Reverend Dr. David Alt wrote a song many years ago called "I'm Here to Remind You." I'm here to remind you of your magnificence. We often forget our own magnificence, our own divinity. But yet we see it in others. We see it in others when they are hurting and we try to lift them up. We're there to remind them. We're here to remind each other. And I certainly experienced that in these last 2 weeks. Sue Riey wrote in a song, "All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through." Spiritual community is so very, very, very important. And when we gather together, we're greater, we're stronger. We need to remember to ask for help. And that's a lesson that's been brought to my mind in this past year when I was taking the ELA leadership course, is I need to remember to ask for help. I carry a lot of the burden on myself. So why aren't more people coming to church? As spiritual community is so important, why aren't more people coming to church? We have a great message, I hope. We're in line with what the millennial generation thinks and believes. Why don't they come? This is actual questions that I've gotten. These actual questions I've had. Doesn't make sense. We're so in line with what so many think and feel. People are getting spiritually fed in other ways. At one time, the books that we read were only available in Unity Church bookstores. Now they're available everywhere. You can search on Amazon.com and you can get them. So more people are actually getting our message, but fewer are coming in the buildings. People are getting their spiritual feed from blog posts, from podcasts. People are finding community in their yoga classes and at CrossFit gyms, of all places. It's a great place to bond. They are so supportive of each individual, and they treat you as an individual to help you reach your goals. And you don't have to get up early on a Sunday or be told that you're a sinner, or which we don't do here. So how can we reach them? I think about this a lot. How can we build our spiritual community? And how do we do it during a pandemic? You're all out there wearing masks, and I'm wearing an invisible welder's mask. What I think our first step is we need to take a look at who we are. So who are we? What's our identity? This past year, I was a member of the first cohort of the Emergence Leadership Academy at One Spirit. Toward the end of this 8-month course, we did a leadership evaluation. And I had some of you participate in that, where I gave you a questionnaire and you filled it out and to learn what kind of a leader I am. I just got all the information, did some interviews, and sent that and gave it to another one of my classmates. She compiled everything, and then in front of the class, then we each shared, I read hers and she read mine, of what it is that people experience when they're with us. What can we do to be more effective? What is it that we may not know our reputation is? And I really loved this process. I thought it was really cool, and I learned a lot about myself. And so I wanted to do that here, for our congregation, for our community. So I altered the questions to be who we are as leadership and as a congregation. So I had everything prepared, and I came to church one Sunday in March, and the copier wouldn't work, so I couldn't hand it out. I was like, that's okay, I'll just bring it back next week. There was no next week. That was the Sunday that we started not meeting in person. So I was flexible, and I printed out copies, and I had the membership list, and I mailed out these questionnaires to the members. I got a handful of responses. I wondered if I had got enough responses for an accurate reading of our congregation. I got 7 out of potentially 100 that I sent out. And I went ahead and I compiled all the answers, and the results were pretty much what I expected. It's like, this is who I thought we were as a whole. And I had a better understanding of why that is. I read all the comments without judgment or without weight. And I'm going to share with you the results that I had. So when you hear it, I want you to hear these without judgment, without weight. Because these are perceptions that people had. And I asked them to be honest and to share what they thought, what they experienced. Some things you may agree with, some things you may not. And that's okay. So those that attend here at Unity of Indianapolis share that they feel at home here. They feel they have a spiritual family. They feel they belong. They feel inspired. The things that are appreciated are the open and welcoming acceptance of all people. They appreciate the positive message. They appreciate that we honor each individual's path. They appreciate that there's no dogma or no narrow way of thinking. They appreciate the diversity in the people. They appreciate that the lessons taught can be used in their daily lives. And they appreciate the sprinkling of diversity in the Sunday lessons. That was an actual quote, sprinkling of diversity. In asking what Unity Indianapolis can do to be more effective in leadership or as a congregation, here's where some things were really revealed. We need to do more outreach beyond our doors. make people aware of Unity of Indianapolis. There are so many like-minded people out there that don't know that we exist. We need to tend to the needs of our congregation. And I quote, "I'm not sure they are getting what a caring spiritual community should provide," end quote. Play and sing more traditional hymns and songs. What is something about our reputation that the leadership may not know? Some people don't come because we have been known as a gay church. We are a struggling congregation with lots of problems with our building. Unity is known for being a church that everyone is welcome to attend, regardless of your faith, religion, and beliefs. And I asked a fifth question. Why do you come to Unity of Indianapolis? There were some overlapping answers here. Unity aligns with my own beliefs. The message speaks to me. I need a place like Unity for my own well-being and as a place to grow spiritually. As I read through these answers and compiled all this stuff, I see that our congregation is very, very diverse. Our paths are many. Some lean more toward New Age, shamanism, pantheism. Some are interfaith. Some are what I call old school unity with the teachings of the Fillmores. Some are more Christian mystics. Some are more contemporary Christians who just don't like the dogma that they receive in traditional Christian churches. Yes, our congregation has a past, and there are wounds. And we've tried many times to heal these wounds. And then when we do, the people with the wounds aren't there for the healing. They show up again weeks, months, years later with those same wounds, and they bring them in and open it up again because they never healed from it. There's still some hard feelings about a vote 3 to 4 years ago on whether or not to sell this building. A vote of the membership at the time was carried out, and the majority wanted to sell, but it wasn't a large enough majority to do so. So it wasn't sold. It just stopped. Some feel that they're just stuck with a money pit. Others see it as, this is our church. We got to do what we can do to stay here. So there is a divide there. Though some of the big issues have been taken care of, and a grant has been awarded for some restoration, the wound is still there. Our congregation wants to be heard. Our congregation wants to be seen. So how do we heal from this? This is an old wound. This is what I believe. This is what I think. I believe first, we need to heal our own wounds. As Jesus said to the lepers as he was overwhelmed with them, wanting healing, he screams out, "Heal yourselves." A couple of years ago, I did a talk called Heal Yourselves. And in that talk, I talked about the lame man at the baths of Bethesda. And Jesus asked him, "Do you want to be healed?" And the man said, "Yes." And then Jesus said, then pick up your bed and walk. I hear we want to build our community. I want to build our community. In March, we stopped meeting in person. But we didn't stop Unity of Indianapolis. We kept going. We kept our Sunday service going on Zoom and Facebook Live. In July, we started coming back in person and still sending our Sunday service out on Facebook Live and now YouTube later on. But it's different. We have to stay apart from each other, and we have to wear masks, and we have to have our temperature taken when we come in the building. But we're here, we're together. And sure, we've been averaging around 25 people in the building on Sunday, and around the same amount of people watching online. It's hard to tell because I'm one of the people online. I think Sue's online, Mike Burns is online, Crystal might be online, I don't know. So some of that is, there's some overlap. But we can still build. We can still build. This is 2020. When the year first started, this is 2020, the year of perfect spiritual vision. It still is. We're just not seeing what we expected to see at the beginning of the year. Wounds have been opened. Hurt has been exposed. In April, people took the streets. We're in an election year. Ugliness always happens during election years. Hate spewing instead of love and respect. But also, let's open our eyes and see that before the pandemic, we were distancing ourselves. We weren't inviting people in. We sent some people away. We've been muffling our voices behind masks, hiding hurt, hiding pain and resentment. And we've not been showing up. Sure, we attend services, but are we really showing up and walking and talking our truth and being our truth? I have hope. We can do this. Through purposeful action. Heal your wounds. Heal your wounds so that you can help heal the wounds of others, the wounds of our community. But actually, if we all healed our own wounds, our community would not have any. Put on your oxygen mask first so that you can help others. Set small goals so that you can move forward. Stop just reacting to what's going on and actually have a plan and move forward with that plan step by step, inch by inch if you have to, breath by breath. Vision. We must all have a shared vision and mission for our community. Several years ago, we gathered together and we wrote a vision of the world that we would like to see. Centered as God, life expresses love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission for our community was seeing everyone as love. We are an inclusive, thriving spiritual center that inspires conscious transformation. I personally think these are beautiful. I was there that day. I remember the long process of putting this together. And it really was a work of love with this community. Do we all stand behind them? Do we all stand behind them? Do we need to revisit this? If not, we need to keep them present and in front of us at all times, and everything that we do here must follow that. We need to see ourselves as a thriving spiritual center that inspires conscious transformation. If people ask you you go to Unity, what do you do there? We inspire conscious transformation. We inspire people to grow and to learn and to be the best of themselves that they can be. Flexibility. Stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Let go of the past. Be open to new possibilities. As we grow older, if we don't stretch our muscles, we become stiff, and then we become immobile, and then we just sit, and we can't go anywhere. Spiritually, we've got to stretch in order to grow and keep going. Otherwise, we get stagnant and we get stuck in our ways and are like, this is how it has to be. This is how dogma is created. We need to let go of the past. Be it a negative experience that happened 20 years ago, be it a positive experience that happened 50 years ago. Let it go. Be flexible. Get out of the past. Be present now. Be who we are now. We can't grow and survive on thoughts of, well, we used to have 2 Sunday services and filled this place. Heal from that. Move on. Well, we had a minister that blah, blah, blah. Heal from that. Move on. Well, there was this one event. Heal from it. Move on. Forgive it. Give it up. You don't need to carry that with you anymore. Trust. We spent the entire month of July talking about trust. Trust in God, trust in others, trust in yourself, and trust in the process. I don't need to know where the wind blows, because God knows. A beautiful song by Daniel Nahmod. And spiritual community. There's power in numbers. Whenever 2 or more are gathered, the strength of God, the Christ Spirit multiplies. When we are gathered together in unity, in shared vision and mission, I'm going to say that again. When we are gathered together in unity in a shared vision and mission, we are stronger. We're greater. All is well. It takes each of us. It takes each of us. And we have to remember that we are a diverse community. We feed a broad spectrum of people because this is where we can, because we're not so narrow that we have this specific dogma that people are attracted to. We accept all paths. My path is different than Marty's. Marty's path is different than Ed's. Crystal's is different than Mike's. We all have a separate path, but I think together we can have a shared vision and a shared mission, and together we can grow. I have hope. This spiritual community gives me hope. We are Unity of Indianapolis, a positive path for spiritual living. The time is now. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So let's pick up our beds, our mats, and walk. Thank you.
Are we not blessed? Yes. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Now is the time that we prepare for our love offering. If you are watching online, I invite you to go to our website, unityofindy.org, and donate online or mail a check to Unity of Indianapolis at 907 North Delaware Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46202. So as you prepare your offering, we have a few announcements. We are in the final negotiation with Recovery Cafe to come share our space here. And that's kind of an answer to where's our outreach. Here it is. We also have the Indie Food Co-op and Love Train here. So it's just messaging of who we are and how we accept everyone, because molecularly we're all the same and we share the same concerns in this, and so we're very excited about these developments. And we're also excited about Michael and Ed taking a look at using our space to continue the message that Comedy Sports Connection has here. So there's many things going on that we're grateful for. We're alive and well. At the close of the service, the ushers will be releasing you by row, starting from the back. Please wait until you're released to leave. At that time, please place your love offering in the basket at the back of the sanctuary. We do ask that you not congregate inside the building, but feel free to do outside with proper physical distance. Keep your masks on while in the building, and once the offering is collected, the money stewards will bless the offering. And now please take your offering in your hand or visualize your gift. I invite you to hold your offering in heart-centered intention as we affirm our blessing over the offering. Together, divine love, working through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful.
All right, it's time for the peace song. So I'm going to go ahead and invite you to stand up and hold your hands out as we connect energetically. And let's picture the world standing hand in hand, heart to heart, soul to soul. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. One step, one act, it's a simple fact. We can be the change. Don't have to do it all, no steps too small. We can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. I got lost. One heart, one voice, one simple choice.